33-year-old woman is behind bars accused of bringing drugs into an elementary school and physically assaulting the school's principal.
Police were called after 9:30 Wednesday morning to Welsh School, according to court documents. When Shakita Barfield was in a meeting with the principal, a couple bags of cocaine fell out of her pocket. After a confrontation, Barfield allegedly hit, bit, and strangled the principal with his tie. The principal has several non-life-threatening injuries across his face and arms, including a cut below his eye that bled onto his clothes and the floor. Barfield faces several drug and battery charges.